As the name states, Shrek, and I'm back with another video now. And as of just now, I literally just got back from seeing the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I can definitely say I was very excited for this movie. I am an Ant-Man fan myself. I really enjoyed the first one. I loved all the little gags and stuff that, and the product placements and stuff in the first movie. And I like that this movie definitely brings a lot of that spark and everything back from the first movie. It feels like Ant-Man. It feels like what I wanted from Ant-Man, and it definitely felt like a good overall quality movie. Except for one main problem that I did have with the movie, and I'll get to that later. But first I want to talk about some of these good things. And before I start talking about anything, I do want to say, it might not say in the title, but this is a spoiler-free review. I'm going to be doing 2 videos this time instead of one video where I talk about just all the spoilers and everything. I'm going to put that off for another video, so don't worry, you can watch this whole video if you have not seen the movie yet. I will do my best to just give a good outline of the movie and my general thoughts and feelings rather than actually talk about specifics, because there are a lot of specifics and stuff about this movie, especially the mid-credits scene. I can definitely say that almost we didn't really need the whole movie but the mid-credit scene itself would have just been suffice, but I'll talk about that in the spoiler review. So I do want to talk about some of the good things that I liked about this movie. Once again, Paul Rudd as Scott Lang. He is amazing. Paul Rudd, just in general, he's always had a good humor to him, very unique sense of humor of sorts, and you see and get that humor about him once again as his role as Scott Lang and the Ant-Man, and just how he portrays the role and everything once again is just really well developed. And then we also get Evangeline Lilly as Hope, once again just as good as she was in the first one. Definitely gets more screen time as herself, but I can say that I wish we would have got a little more of her in her costume and a little more action from her, because I felt like, being the fact that it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp, that I feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp should have at least had equal screen time in their costumes. I felt like the Wasp really was lacking that a little bit, so I wish she would have got a little more screen time in her superhero outfit. But there's not much I can say about that, but when she definitely kicked butt, and she did a great job. And once again, we also have Michael Douglas reprising his role as Hank Pym. And throughout this movie, the main goal of this movie, if this is not really a spoiler, but the main goal of the whole movie was in general just to bring Shannon Van Dyne back from the quantum realm. And that's pretty much what the whole movie is circled around, just that concept. And the villain of this movie is just getting in the way and trying to kind of stop that for her own personal gain, in a sense. I will get to that a little more so about what that is in the spoiler review. But just how that kind of went down and everything, it made sense and everything, but at the same time, just the reasons and everything Ghost, the villain, was given and talking about, just felt weak, and kind of like a lot of the villains in the MCU, just it's it's a big problem in the MCU. It really is. We see it. We saw it in Age of Ultron. There's too many examples to even talk about, but I think you guys get the idea. There's a lot of villain problems within the MCU. Other than Thanos. Thanos was amazing. Like, you really got a good grasp about who he was in Infinity War, and that really did and nailed that. But we're talking about Ant-Man. But yes, the villain, though, that was the main problem. But the main things I liked in Ant-Man and the Wasp, though, were Paul Rudd's time to shine. We definitely see that chemistry between him and Evangeline Lilly working very well. You can kind of see how that chemistry kind of works. It's a little, like, it comes across as like almost like awkwardly just good at the same time, like just how that works. And you can tell that all these actors and everything just had a lot of fun filming, and just with the whole movie and everything, you can tell that it was definitely a lot of fun and that they were glad that they were all together. You also get more of Scott's daughter. She gets a lot more screen time. You get a lot more character and scene in her and everything, and just how her character is throughout the movie. She just looks up to her father and everything. Just sees the hero in him. Like, you see that within the trailer and everything. Like, you saw that in the beginning in the first movie, and you're seeing that more of that develop, and her just wanting to feel like she should be almost like helping or so or whatever. And her character development from the first movie to this movie, like, it's like increasing and everything, and she did have a big role again within the movie. We also got a little bit more screen time from her mother and from her stepfather, but you don't get like too much of that. Like, you got more in the first movie, but you do get to see Judy Greer and I don't remember what his name is or whatever in their roles again in this movie. But at least it wasn't too much. They didn't hog down the movie or bog down the movie. They didn't really slow it down much, but there were a lot of good moments within this movie. And then just one other thing too, they did have like another like little side villain that they really didn't even need to put it into the movie, but they really just put them in for a car chase scene and everything to give some a little more like weird depth into the movie, which almost, like I said, really wasn't needed, but they put it in anyways because because they wanted to do a car chase, and just like the FBI kind of like chasing after Scott and everything, like they didn't want to like really have to do that type of thing and be destroying like those type of cars. They wanted like some sort of like other like official like bad guys of sorts. So they just threw these other people in there kind of like, which almost didn't fit. Like, they would have been okay like in the beginning and then just had like a minor reappearance at the end or something, but they tried to circle too much around these guys a little more so than they really needed to, which really almost, it just felt a little weird, a little forced, and just a little off. But other than that, putting them aside, putting the villain aside, the heroes and everything, and just how just focused and everything they are on getting Hope's mom back and everything, just it was just very well executed throughout most of the movie. And you do get some twists in there a little bit too. And like I said, I will be talking about that stuff more in the spoiler review. So that's really all I have to say without branching into spoilers. I hope I didn't touch on too much as it is. I don't think I really said too many like spoilery stuff. I feel like I just talked about more like just general stuff that almost you already know, or things you should know about the movie before going into the movie and seeing it. So If you're okay with weak villain and you're used to it at this point, then this movie is going to be for you. But if you're going into the movie expecting that villain to be strong and everything, then I suggest you don't really see the movie unless you are really determined and you are a big Ant-Man fan. But otherwise, this movie, in my opinion, was just great. It was fantastically done. I'd say it matches probably about the same level as the first Ant-Man movie, which the first Ant-Man movie I would definitely say was a good 78% out of 100%. So I'd say about this movie is about 78% as well. That is literally all I have for you in this video. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comments in the comment section down below if you've seen the movie yet and what you liked about it. Please don't put any spoilers in the comments. As always, subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys in the next video.